Imagine this. You are sitting inside a commercial airplane at 35,000 feet above the Earth. The cabin is quiet, the engines are humming, everything feels normal, and then, the sound disappears. No explosion, no fire, just silence. Most people think this is the exact moment a plane falls out of the sky. But that belief is completely wrong. Today, I'm going to tell you the full truth. What actually happens when a plane loses all power in midair, why this situation is not automatically a disaster, and how modern aircraft are secretly designed for this exact moment. Let's start with a hard fact most people don't know. A commercial airplane does not rely on engines to stay in the air. Engines are not what keep a plane flying. They only provide speed. The real reason a plane flies is its wings. At cruising altitude, a passenger jet is already moving extremely fast. If the engines stop, that speed does not instantly disappear. Instead, the aircraft turns into something very unexpected, a giant glider. Yes, a 70-ton machine becomes a controlled flying object with no engines. At this moment, the plane does not drop. It begins a smooth, controlled descent. Pilots call this best glide. Every aircraft in the world has a specific glide ratio. This ratio determines how far it can travel forward while losing altitude. For a typical commercial jet, this distance is shocking. At 35,000 feet, a plane can glide over 100 kilometers without using a single drop of fuel. That means even if all engines fail, the pilots still have many minutes to act. But what are they doing during this time? First, they stay calm. Because this scenario is not a surprise to them, pilots train for complete engine failure again and again in simulators. They memorize the procedure until it becomes automatic. The first priority is control. As long as the aircraft has speed, it has control. The second priority is electric power. You might wonder, if engines stop, doesn't all electricity shut down? The answer is no. Modern aircraft have multiple backup systems. One of the most fascinating is called the ram air turbine, or RAT. When needed, a small turbine automatically drops from the aircraft body into the airflow. The rushing air spins it like a windmill, producing enough electricity and hydraulic power to control the plane and its instruments. Even without engines, the aircraft is still alive. Now let's talk about oxygen. Another common fear is that passengers will instantly lose oxygen. That's also not true. Cabin pressure will slowly change, and oxygen masks will deploy if needed. Pilots immediately descend to a safe breathing altitude while maintaining full control of the aircraft. Everything happens in a controlled sequence. No chaos, no free fall. But has this ever happened in real life? Yes, and the most famous example happened in 1983. A Boeing 767 ran out of fuel at 41,000 feet. Due to a simple measurement mistake, both engines shut down. No power, no thrust. For a moment, the aircraft became the largest glider in the world. Instead of panicking, the pilots calculated their glide distance, found a nearby airstrip, and manually flew the aircraft down. They landed safely. Not a single passenger lost their life. This event is now taught in aviation schools worldwide as proof that airplanes are not fragile machines. They are designed to forgive mistakes. Now here's something even more important. Total engine failure is extremely rare. Modern jet engines are among the most reliable machines ever built. They can run continuously for thousands of hours in extreme heat, cold, rain, and turbulence. And commercial planes don't rely on just one engine. They rely on redundancy. Multiple engines, multiple electrical systems, multiple hydraulic systems, multiple computers. For something to truly go wrong, many independent systems would have to fail at the same time. That's why flying remains statistically safer than driving a car. But fear doesn't come from statistics. Fear comes from imagination. Silence at 35,000 feet sounds terrifying because our brains associate silence with danger. In reality, silence often means the systems are doing exactly what they were designed to do. So the next time you're on a plane and you feel turbulence, or hear a strange sound, remember this. Aviation is built on preparation, not hope. Every emergency you can imagine has already been imagined by engineers and practiced by pilots. The sky is not as dangerous as it feels. Sometimes the most frightening moments are actually the safest ones. And now you know the truth about what really happens when a plane loses all power in midair.